Hello, and welcome to another week of Central Reads, our 2024 Bible reading plan. This week, we are beginning to read selections from the book of Exodus. Exodus is a super important book in the biblical story and in the way we think about who God is and God as one of freedom, of liberation. It's the story of God's people, Israel, in slavery in Egypt, and him raising up a leader, Moses, to free his people and let them go free through the wilderness. It's an amazing story. There are so many kind of foundational stories that are in this that really are hinted at, alluded to, or directly referenced again and again and again and again throughout the rest of the Bible, throughout the New Testament. It is just super important. At the core of it, it's the story of a God whose heart breaks for his enslaved people, and he frees his people from slavery in order to restore to them the promised land and restore to them the promise that God first gave their ancestor Abraham. And so as you're reading, it's not every chapter of the book of Exodus, because Exodus is quite long, but it really is a lot of important kind of foundational stories. When I selected them, I kind of took out some of the law stuff that could get really confusing and kind of long, and kind of I tried to stick to stories as much as possible, and they're all just so phenomenal. They're so foundational. I want to encourage you to read this and to take it in. There's usually 2 chapters a week, or 2 chapters a day. Actually, this week it's all 2 chapters a day, but it's not too much reading. I would encourage you, if you can find time, to read the entire book of Exodus and not just the selections, because it's all really fantastic. But this is a time to get to hear the story that really defines God for the Jewish people. And that matters because Jesus is a Jewish person for whom the story of the Exodus is of foundational importance. Because really, when it comes down to it, what Jesus sees God, his Father, doing in and through him was a new Exodus. Not just of his people from slavery to Egypt, but of an exodus of all people from freedom to the powers of sin and death. And that's really a story that you see throughout the Gospels. You see it throughout Paul's letters. It is the foundational story. It's where the Passover comes from. I mean, there's just so much. So enjoy this week of reading. Check out the Bible Project's videos this week and next on the book of Exodus, because they are phenomenally helpful. All right, have a great week of reading.